It's so funny. My first note is actually about Boruto leaving, coming back to the village, leaving, come back to the village, leaving, come back to the village. Because it's always been like a threat. Like, if you go there, this threat's going to happen, this thing's going to happen. And I was going to put a sin counter at the end of this video based off how many times Boruto's been warned not to come back to the village, and he does it anyway, and then he just leaves again. And it's funny because chapter 19, he doesn't come back where I had theorized he'd come back. But he still comes back at the end of this chapter, 20s, and I just think that's hilarious. So I might actually add that sin counter. Hey guys, welcome back to Everything Anime Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Shinry, here at the Everything Anime Podcast, talking from anime, manga, video games, TV shows, and whatever on topic we're talking about. Today's video is on Boruto chapters 19, or Boruto Blue Vortex chapters 19 to 20. And there's some positives and there's some negatives with this. And the negatives is obvious. It's the thing I've been talking about this whole time. These divine trees are too weak. For villains that are said to be planetary, that you needed a planetary Rasengan, which is stronger than Naruto and Sasuke, they keep dying pretty easily. We didn't even kill Madara this easily. We didn't kill Obito this easily. We didn't kill Orochimaru this easily. But these guys die left and right. These divine trees that are stronger than code and needed a planetary Rasengan to be defeated. Let's get into it. So where we last left off, Ryu had used his iron sand, I think, to kind of corner the sand ninjas and the hidden leaf ninjas, Mitsuki, Sadara, Yodo, I forgot the guy's name, and then Konohamaru is over there dealing with Matsuri, and the last thing we saw with Konohamaru was Matsuri was about to devour him. And I had theorized that Boruto was going to show up and save him. Ironically, I am correct. Boruto does show up and save him, but it made it seem like it wasn't going to happen at first. So, I was like, Konohamaru, that's it, you're done. Like, you're dead. Boruto doesn't show up in the beginning of this chapter and save you. He shows up, again, that was ahead of my notes, but yeah, when the chapter opens up, Konohamaru's in trouble. It's somebody she's about to devour him. I was like, Konohamaru, that's it, you're done. Like, you ain't got no tricks up your sleeve. But that's when he thinks back to Shikamaru's stupid plan of befriending the enemy and then betraying them. And he's like, hey, didn't you say talking to me was the best day of your life? And I was just like, what is going on? You already exposed that you were trying to kill her, and now or no, you didn't expose you were trying to kill her. Like, the plan is dumb. It's not an arc thing. It's not even a whole, series thing. It's literally within 30 seconds of meeting them. But I was like, he's like, if you kill me, we'll never talk again like this. And that gives her pause. Even in my notes, I said, this is fucking stupid. This is a terrible... Who wrote this story? It's an embarrassment to the original Naruto. Again, and you're going to understand by the time this video ends, my rant, because I've been correct about these divine trees being way too weak and the story being way too all over the place. In 20 chapters. And at first it seems like Matsuri ain't falling for it, and I was like, thank God. I was like, finally, this is... Yeah, you're becoming a better writer. You might be fixing that mistake you made in chapter 18. But before we even get an answer to that, we switch back over to Ryu, who's once again preparing to briefly own the sand and leaf ninja. And I say briefly because in Dr. Stone, when it's check after check after check after check to stalemate, and then somebody wins to get the checkmate, it makes sense. And here it's check to check to check because random shit just keeps happening, like ass pool moves. But I was like, okay, once again, it's looking like this is good. I'm like, Ryu, you were hyped up. The divine trees hyped you up. You barely been in 5 chapters. You might do something cool. You might be the villain that we need to be worried about. And I was like, this is what threatening villains are supposed to look like. But here's where Ryu fucked up, and I know that he's the villain I shouldn't want to happen, but villains need to stop killing the heroes and they need to start killing the heroes and stop giving them time. He's basically like, I'll let you live if you can tell me where Boruto or his allies are. And I was like, dude, you are a villain. Stop monologuing. Stop hesitating. Kill the heroes. And yes, I know if they kill the heroes, like the story ends, that's not what you want. The heroes have to succeed. But you are making these villains like... Villains these days need to stop monologuing. Like Syndrome, he's like, oh, you got me monologuing. Like, he even called it out. Like,
Listen, you can't count on anyone, especially your heroes.
I was wrong to treat you that way. I'm sorry.
See? Now you respect me, because I'm a threat. That's the way it works. Turns out there are a lot of people, whole countries, who want respect, and they will pay through the nose to get it. How do you think I got rich? I invented weapons, and now I have a weapon that only I can defeat. And when I unleash it, I'll get... You sly dog! You got me monologuing! I can't believe it.
Incredibles played on that. And other series have done that since then. I think they got it from The Incredibles. He's like, oh, this is where I tell you. I think it was Dr. Gerald Robotnik in the Sonic movie. He's like, oh, this is where I tell you my evil plan. And he just ignores that. Something like that. Like, they're becoming more self-aware with these like villains monologuing, giving away their plan, and giving the heroes time. But Sadara doesn't plan on giving up any information about Boruto because she loves him, obviously. And even if she didn't, she's still a hidden leaf ninja. She's not gonna betray her village. But I was like, narrative-wise, that does make sense, so it's fine that Sadara doesn't want to give up the information. Like, that makes narrative sense. Obviously, it fits the story. So instead, Yodo, who isn't even aware that Boruto and Kawaki have swapped places but trusts Sadara, is like, fine, I'll tell you everything. We don't know where Boruto is, but you can take me instead. I have detection abilities, and I can help you. And I was like, okay, this still makes narrative sense. This is fine. I like this. I was still going with this. The chapter was still up for me. Meanwhile, we switch back to Matsuri. As she's preparing to devour Konohamaru, she begins to cry, and this is foreign to her. She's like, why am I crying? What is this wet tears? What is this wet salt coming out of my eyes? Obviously, we know this is because the part of her being Mogi cares about Konohamaru. That's her friend, and Mogi was also in love with Konohamaru. And Mogi is the divine tree version of her, Matsuri. But that doesn't make sense to come out of nowhere. When the Sasuke tree was going to kill Sadara, the Sasuke tree did not hesitate. I forgot the name of the Sasuke tree. But he did not hesitate to kill his daughter Sadara, and he is based off of Sasuke. So this coming out of nowhere feels like an ass pull. Like, you're not going to say Sasuke doesn't love his daughter. So you're not going to say the Sasuke divine tree didn't love Sadara. Like, that's what I mean. Like, why did he not hesitate to try to kill his daughter? But anyways, Konohamaru smartly takes advantage of this and begins playing on her feelings that Mogi, which is smart because, like, this kind of makes Shikamaru's plan kind of makes sense. You're trying to build off of that, and again, if you were in this situation, that's what you would do. You'd play on the enemy's weakness. So I was like, okay, it's cognitive now. Like, this makes just sense. Since I'm reading it, like, not reading it weekly. Well, I'm caught up, but like, if I was reading this like in a row, I'd be like, okay, this plan makes sense. But reading it like week to week and waiting to see what Shikamaru's stupid plan plays out, it made it disappointing. This, of course, though, was obvious traps. He hits her with a basic Rasengan and then obliterates her hand. And all that I put in my notes is, in capital letters, these villains are super weak. Your hand's got obliterated by a regular Rasengan? Girl, you divine trees are supposed to be stronger. Boruto beat Blue Vortex villains supposed to be stronger than anybody in Naruto. Hell, one of the divine trees gave Naruto and Sasuke struggle, and they are 7 years after fighting Madara and Kaguya. And they nearly lost to some divine trees. So I'm like, how are y'all this fucking weak? Y'all are supposed to be super strong. Only Boruto and Kawaki are supposed to be able to take y'all on. Ugh. But at least she didn't die, because apparently Konohamaru hesitated with the final blow, which is surprising. Konohamaru, I guess in that last moment, he saw Mogi and he couldn't finish her off, so Matsuri survives. I let that slide, because I guess it makes, again, in that situation, it would make sense. But again, knowing that your friend is no longer there and it's a divine tree, I probably would have finished the blow, but I do understand. Oh, sorry, guys. Meanwhile, Ryu stabbed Yodo without hesitation, so he wasn't out with that plan. Like, Ryu was like, oh, Yodo, use your detecting ability to help me find Boruto. Nah, fuck that. He stabs her. I was still clapping. I was like, this is a villain. These are villains. This is Orochimaru level. This is Kabuto level. This is Orochimaru level. Okay, these are villains. Finally start stepping up. Yes, yes. As Yodo is dying, she tells Sadara to use the power she's been afraid of using, that she's been holding back. I guess this would be her Mangekyo Sharingan, which we saw briefly when, Kawaki and Boruto swapped places. Again, that wasn't the greatest twist in all of anime. That's been done before. But anyways, I like that she awakened it because, again, my theory is that the Mangekyo Sharingan awakens out of love. Sasuke later said some bullshit that it awakens out of, a psychological, impact. But I think it's love. I mean, it could be both. Two things could be true. But we're going to see her abilities finally. I was assuming, we've been wondering what that Mangekyo Sharingan does. And at first, it looked like Kamui. I do know what it is now, but that's what people were speculating. And that's why I didn't make a video when this chapter came out, because I was like, there's no way it's Kamui. The Uchiha abilities don't copy each other to that extent. Sasuke has Amaterasu because he has Itachi's eyes. But Sadara doesn't have Obito's eyes, so it can't be Kamui. But it wasn't confirmed yet, so I was like, I needed to see something else. And as this chapter continues, we get an inner monologue from Sadara, basically thinking the same thing that Ochako once said in My Hero Academia, that when she had feelings for Deku, she's like, I have to bury these feelings deep down about Boruto and focus on becoming Hokage because I'm not strong enough. I want to be able to do what the 7th Hokage does. I want to be as strong as him because I'm not even as strong as my dad. That's what she was thinking. And also, she was thinking about the class rep president, how the class rep president, Surume, whatever the fuck her name is. She was thinking she cares about Boruto too. I shouldn't announce my feelings for Boruto because somebody else cares about him as well. But we all know her love for Boruto and her want to protect him is the overwhelming key she needed to break through to awaken her Mangekyo Sharingan. Because again, I theorized way back then. Go back and watch the Mangekyo Sharingan Awakens Out of Love video about Sadara's first time activating it, is that it awakens out of love, not just the psychological shock that Sasuke is trying to say. So as the battle continues, we learn that she doesn't have Kamui, which I was correct about, but instead it's something related to a black hole. They specifically say gravitational pull. I'm just saying black hole. Enough of this gravity shit, earth shit. Because you're trying to compare it to Boruto's planetary Rasengan, which again is not planetary. Boruto is not that strong. He is not stronger than Naruto and Sasuke. I don't care what you say. Narratively and in the manga and anime, Boruto has done nothing on screen to become stronger than Naruto or Sasuke. I don't care what Sasuke said in that one chapter. You surpassed us in a year. Fuck that. That's stupid. That's terrible writing. And a real Naruto fan would not agree with that. And she doesn't just control one black hole. She controls 4 of them at once. This scene of it is pretty cool. I did clap for that. I was like, okay, pretty dope. I like it. I'm fucking with it, even though, once again, you come out of nowhere with that strong-ass ability. But whatever. I fuck with it. You the daughter of Sasuke, you the daughter of Sakura. So whatever. I'm down with it. Now, I would have accepted that the black hole just draws in whatever threatens her, and Kawaki says something similar, it's a gravitational force. This is where they say that, whatever threatens her, it's pulled into that black hole. I would have accepted that, but also, and then I had mentioned the planetary Rasengan. We're not gonna go back over that again. But basically, Sadara is I didn't know how to use this power before because she's like Kenpachi Zaraki. She put a suppressor on herself because she wanted to hide her feelings from Boruto, respect the class rep's president's feelings, but she's like, no more. I've been hiding my true self, and that put a unknown weakness on myself. But now I fully accept that I love Boruto. She says it out loud. I love, not to Boruto himself, but she just says it, acknowledges herself. I'm not gonna hide my feelings anymore. I'm accepting who I am. This is who I am. This is what I am. Basically, and so she basically using girl power. She all about herself. All the women, independent. Throw your heads up at Sadara. Okay, that's her right now. And aside from being over-sexualized in this panel, it looked really dope. Again, I don't know what's with these. I know, manga artists like to draw women very sexualized, but these are children at the same time, even in the manga, and I know it's not real, but I'm I don't know, that's a little too much going on. Give her some pants or some shit. I don't know, there's a little too much going on in that panel. With this power, though, she managed to quite easily obliterate Ryu. Going back to my problem and issue with the story. These villains are way too weak. You hyped up the Sasuke Divine Tree, and for one retcon is that he did not hesitate to kill Sadara, where Matsuri is hesitating to kill Konohamaru because Mogi has feelings for Konohamaru. But the Sasuke Devontae didn't have feelings for Sadara, didn't love his daughter. I don't believe that. And then second, Ryu was hyped up. You did this off pan off screen of him, gave him his own full page by himself, showing up off this hype. And in the first two missions, this is his first mission, not even second mission. He gets destroyed. If Orochimaru showed up in the Forest of Death, got his ass whooped by No-Tail Naruto, Demon Naruto, and Curse Mark, not even Curse Mark Sasuke didn't have Curse Mark yet. Got his ass whooped. We would not take Orochimaru seriously, especially if Orochimaru died. If Madara showed up on the battlefield, got stopped by the five Hokage, and the war was over, before he even made it to the battlefield, Madara got stopped by the five Hokage, we wouldn't take Madara that seriously. I mean, yeah, hype up the five Hokages, but Madara, the villain you've been hyping up, just got defeated that easily? That's what I'm saying. You have to do better as a writer. I am a writer myself. I wrote 33 books. My villains are not that weak, and I have reoccurring villains. I cannot with the story with the villains. But the consumption of her new power does weaken her and make her fall unconscious. I'm okay with that. I like that Sadara's not like awake and she's like, okay, let's go fight. Let's go say Konohamaru now. Like, I'm ready, bitch. Let's go. Oh, I was like, thank God for that. Also, Yoda was confirmed to be dead. New character we barely met for less than one arc. Not even an arc. Like 10 chapters or 5, 6 chapters. I mean, I know Chio was like an arc against Sasori in like Saving Gara arc, but like we at least had more time with her. We got to know her. We got to know her backstory. We got to know her connection to Sasori. So we felt bad for her when she died. But Yoda, I'm like, I don't know you. So you dying, I mean, am I supposed to care? Like, you don't have that significance. If this was a longer arc, if this was something fleshed out over 30 chapters, maybe we would feel something, but not 6 chapters, baby. And I nearly forgot about Konohamaru and Matsuri at this point. This is chapter 20, by the way. Despite Konohamaru's range, like barrage attacks with Rasenguns, Matsuri's about to finish him off. She's still like, her body's like regenerated or something like that. And Boruto fears that he will die too, because Koji and Boruto are watching this from like wherever they at, and Ida's watching from her little corner where she at in the Hidden Leaf Village. And Boruto's like, did you know that Yoda was gonna die? And Koji's like, yeah, I knew she was gonna die because that's how Sadara was gonna activate her Mangekyo Sharingan. And so Boruto's like, well, is Konohamaru gonna die? And Koji don't answer. So of course, once again, Boruto shows up. But Koji warned him, if you show up on the battlefield, Jura's going to show up. How many times has Boruto been warned not to show up in the village? How many times? This is where we're going to start the counter at the very end of this video. It's going to be a special one-off thing where I'm going to mention every time Boruto's shown up, left, shown up, left, shown up, left. But once again, he cuts another divine tree down with ease. And I'm like, so how many of y'all left? Like 4 of y'all? And we already killed the Sasuke one once. So we know killing you again ain't no big problem. So all I was going to worry about is Jura. And Jura got his ass whooped half by Hinanami, who barely knows how to use a nine-tailed fox. But she's supposed to be better than her father at controlling the nine-tailed fox. Just, it's an insult to the story, man, of Naruto. And once again, now Jura's about to make his move. So I predict Boruto Blue Vortex has to be like 50 chapters or less. There is no way Boruto Blue Vortex goes over 100 chapters. It's not even gonna make it to 100 chapters. Boruto Blue Vortex is not over 50 chapters. That's my speculation. Now, the next part of this video is gonna be the counter where I tell you how many times Boruto left, came back, Boruto left, came back, Boruto left, came back. And I'm gonna tell you the chapter numbers too to show you how stupid this all was. Anyways, that's all for this video. I'm sorry it's a rant about Boruto. If you love Boruto, you got to defend it in the comments because I don't understand how you could love this story if you are an Naruto fan. Anyways, that's all for this video. See you guys on the Sun Counter. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hey guys, this video was sponsored by me, the author of the Shinry series, the Chronicles of Wayne, and Monsterverse. So I figured I'd do this outro a little bit different by showing you guys what you guys will be checking out. So, the Shinry series starts with Book 1, Shobu Samurai Project Aryoku. 10 years after the death of his parents, Shobu Samurai returns home, seeking vengeance, but instead faces a choice to save his home from shadow creatures, blood beasts, and an organization once thought dead. Shinry's Shobu Samurai starts at $9.99, and if you love anime, manga, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fairy Tail, Shaman King, Rave Master, Zatch Bell, anything like that, the Shinry series is definitely the series for you. You'll definitely want to check it out. The Sword of Light is probably the thickest one so far. And then these books are 2. This is Enter the Dread Zone Tournament. And the series original ending, Arado, the Legendary Conjuring Master. So, and I'll just show you guys some of the covers. Really proud of all of these. But I hope you guys check it out. If you don't like that, I also have the current published books for the Chronicles of Wayne, Love Be Damned, Cotton Candy, Full Moons, Fabled Lovers, A Cursed Virgin's Bite. If You Go Where Monsters Dance, Red will Rain Over Your House. Love Be Damned. Now, the Chronicles of Wayne is about a geeky guy, or a nerdy guy in high school. His senior year, he has a crush on the hottest guy in school, because of course he does. He's only got one best friend, and her name is Barb. Well, the hottest guy in school turns out to be a werewolf. And to make the story more interesting, he bites Wayne and turns Wayne into the first ever wolfman in the last 10 years. And because of that, it was also a sacred law that wolfmen should never be created. I don't want to get into too much of the Chronicles of Wayne without spoiling it, but I can tell you it's very short. This one sells for $6.99, and Love BK's right after it. The ending of this trilogy, Love Be Liberated, comes out in October. So I'm going to definitely do a more full in-depth review of this one. But yeah, it's an LGBT fantasy fiction story about werewolves, vampires, white witches, a dark warlock, and, well, many, many more surprises to come. So if you guys like to read, I definitely recommend. These are all the books so far in the Shinry series, except for Shinry's Beginning. I do have that one, but it's just not here with me. But yeah, I appreciate a like, support, or just a review on Amazon. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.